Hi everyone. Thanks for coming back again for a weekly webinar on Be a Better Trader Investor campaign. My name is Kali. Martin is not able to join us today. He will be joining us next time. Before I get started, just one question to ask. Have you been following how our stock market reacted yesterday from the US election? All right. Now let's move on. I have prepared here for us the outlook for KLCI. Now, as you can see yesterday, we have a 2-bar reversal here. We have Haitan, thanks for joining us. If you can hear me, just raise hand, Haitan. Thanks. Now, if you look at this 2-bar reversal here, I have talked about the SO in our member chat room last week. Now this SO, and we have talked about another sell-off as well in iVSAchart. Now this 2B bar came in from yesterday US election, and we have seen some panic selling as well based on news. And this, if you want to know if this is really based on what's going on to what happened to yesterday, today and the week after, we will be hoping to see if it's a continuous of downtrend, we will see more supply following up from here. But if this is a panic selling and smart money absorbing it, we are expecting to see a spring bar or SOS bar following from here. Now, if you can see more SOS or test, either spring or test bar from here, this is a good news because it is an opportunity to enter into the stock market with a good uptrend, while we have to continue to observe. All right. Now, from the SO that we have seen, how our community works, iVSA community works, and supporting our member. If you can see, before the 2-bar reversal, before the reaction from the US election, we have seen the SO coming in. We are expecting that, as we can see here, we are expecting that SO starts coming into KLCI. Looks like no support coming. Supply has increased, and if there's no support coming in, downtrend continues. And Martin, at the same time, is hand-holding the members as well. And he's saying that if you're uncomfortable with the market, stay aside and watch from the side next week. But he does mention that if we are looking for a big sell down after the 8 November results, there are buying opportunities for those aggressive traders. Now, this is happening before yesterday, if you look at the date. And that's amazing for iVSAchart, isn't it? We are trying to predict what is going to happen for the next few bars, even before it is happening. And remember, this message came in, as I've mentioned, around at this SO area, which I highlighted. It was this SO area before the 2B bar. Now, I have been talking about the effort versus result last week, if you are following this webinar, and I will want to continue my educational series. Now, last week I talked about effort versus result. We have looked into some of the chart as well. Today I want to talk about test. Now, test is one important key feature in iVSA. What is test, and why is it important to look at it in chart? Now, often we have seen rallies in the market, but we know that rallies doesn't last long. Now, when I say rallies, it means it's what happened is the price will keep pushing up, and as it goes up, we are looking into where the test is. Now, test is a good sign of strength with strength in the market, and test can also be detected after breakthrough supply or exhaustion of supply. Now, I have people asking me questions like, after they hear my webinar and they say that, I have no idea what is test, what is effort versus result you're talking about, what is spring. So I think it is good to include some educational series in my webinar, and I hope you'll be following the series. And as we move on, we will look into the key feature of iVSA. I will look into it by using the sample from the chart. I use eCompile first as the example. eCompile came out in our 18 iVSA trade idea at around $1.40. I have been mentioning about this stock, but I have not really go deeper and talk about how we can look for opportunities to buy this type of stocks. Now, as you can see, we have seen an accumulation level for months if you look back 1 year. Now, accumulation is one important area I will talk about as you follow up in my educational series, and then followed by the trend clusters, which is of effort versus results that is continuing from the strength, from the accumulation. Now, when 18LC appear around 140, some member went in. Now, remember, when markets beginning to push up, sometimes we see supply coming in. Now, a test, it's good to show whether the floating supply in the market is being removed. Now, as it push up, we can see that the 2B bar reversal is coming in, but we still have a good support area here. The base is here. There is a good ground whereby the trend clustering is supporting this stock. Then we continue to see tests coming in. Now, these tests have been showing us that after the test, supply is actually reducing. Now, when supply is reducing with a strength in the background, this test is following up with line change. Now, when it's following up with line change, again, we want a confirmation from where the supply has been removed. And from there, it's a good opportunity for a pullback. We call it pullback 18LC to buy, and some members are buying on the test as well. And from here to where this another to be appear is about 33%. Well, isn't it great to see that as you have learned the chart and what the chart is telling you, you can see more of this repeating chart pattern, and you learn to catch it when the opportunities come. And guess what? The risk level is actually lower. The risk versus the reward. Now I'm looking at the risk where the support area is and the reward of 30%. Can you see the risk versus reward ratio? Now let's move on. Now I have the test just now I've shown you. It's more on the pullback of tests. Now if I go back to the chart, eCompile is showing the test after the pullback of the 18LC. Now this is another test which is in the trend cluster. Now when I say trend clusters, it means that as you can see, the market is pushing up, up, up here, and the rally has exhausted and the supply starts to come in. It doesn't mean that this chart is becoming weak or it is the end of the buying climax. It just means that there is a rally going on, there is an exhaustion, and the sell-off started to come in because they are profit taking, their supply coming in, and the test is here to show you whether the supply which is floating in these stocks has been removed. Now as you can see, while the test is showing you that supply is reducing, that is where opportunity comes in again, and 18LC trade ideas have shown another opportunity to buy here, and that's where you can make about 15%. That is the importance of tests that I'm trying to tell you again and again through the webinar, how you can make use of tests to reduce your risk and get a greater reward. Now, how does iVSAchart works? Some of you have been here a few times, and if you are new, I want to show you how iVSA works. iVSA works on a browser. You don't need to download any application. You just simply need to go to the website or from your phone, from your laptop, and just type www.ivsachart.com. And from here, you can see that it brings you to this simple and yet an easy screener. We have 4 screeners here. For beginner, we want them to use 18 line change, the one that I talk about several times. Sorry, I typed test. I'll go back to 18 line change. Okay, this is the 18 line change screener that we have been talking about. Now this screener is actually screening and narrowing down for you from thousands of stocks to stocks that they find that there is a lot of SOS coming in, there's potential of it moving higher. Now today we can see that as you can see that it's narrowing down only a few for you because of the market uncertainty. And if it's uncertainty and there's nothing for you to pick, we will usually ask the member to say, stay out first, and then this screener will be updated daily, and you have plenty of opportunity to choose from where the stocks that has higher chances to move. Now, let's go to the stock review. Now, the whole purpose of this webinar is also to review the stocks from the participants. Gadang is the stock that we have been picking, our member have been picking in August, like many months ago, and they have already made good profit out of it. And I believe they are already exiting the stocks. Now, Gadang is a stock that in our iVSA, I have personally talked about this stock as way in August, actually. We have talked about this stock way ago. Now, it appears in 18LC in iVSA in July, and again we talk about it to member in around August area here. As you can see, as it is pushing from the price here from accumulation, right? Maybe I'll change the color so you can see clearer. As you can see that it is pushing from the accumulation. Now a lot of members have caught this as well as they let the profit run. As you can see, the trend line is coming in. Now as I draw this trend line, we often ask our member to let the profit run. Okay, there are 2 ways that if you have already entered from, like our member, from August or July, as we ask them to let the profit run, we will ask them to either follow the exit strategy from 18 line change. If you follow my arrow, I click at ATR stop loss, I update the chart. Can you see the ATR stop loss here? I erase my drawing. Can you see this line here? This is where we tell our member to actually exit our chart. Now, can you imagine if those members has already entered earlier based on our 18 line change screener, either here and here, they're appearing twice. Can you imagine if there is already a warning? They can either exit partially here, or if they exit totally here because it breaks down from the line change and 18LC, they have, assuming that they have entered around 250. Now, when we talk about VSA, we are talking about early entry rather than when the market is already rally, then only we enter. So this is early entry. We are talking about more than 20% already. That's a profit. Now, if you ask me, Julius, when to enter this stock, well, I would continue to observe because you can see after the breakdown, this is a breakdown from line change, and the supply has been increasing. This is an increasing supply. This stock will continue to come down, and as the supply is increasing until we see support coming in. Okay, I hope I answer your questions. E.A Technique, interested to know if can avoid the gap down. Some of the chart, yes, you can avoid the gap down, but some of the gap down is also based on the news of the company as well. Now, if it is nothing to do with news or anything happening to the company, the chart will show us sign of weaknesses or buying climax before the gap down. Yes, some of them, yes, but like this one, they didn't show you a vast weaknesses. They didn't show you the weaknesses coming in. It's because maybe something to do with the news. I'm not sure, but for me as a trader, if I'm following my system, I would just follow my system. If my system tells me to get out from ATR, I will get out from ATR. If my system asks me to get out from the rally, taking partial profit from here, a lot of members, we taught them to take partial profit already. So we have taken partial profit and let the profit run. So the remaining, even though if it's breakdown, you are still making a good profit. That is some strategies in trading. Okay, let's look at the E.A Tech. Okay, I will go to the 1 year to let you see clearer, and I will also go to the weekly as well to see a longer. Now this has been a very long downtrend for months. Usually after a downtrend, we want to see a level of accumulation. Now the longer accumulation, the better it is, because we know that after the accumulation come in, it builds a strong base. I go back to 6 months and daily chart. Now this is a downtrend for many months. Now what we want to look at is accumulation level, which I haven't seen it here. If you're doing a quick trade for this market, I would say that we haven't seen any strong SOS coming in. We want to see more exhaustion of supply. Now we haven't seen the exhaustion of the supply yet, so supply is still available. Remember, I'm talking about the test just now. We want to see more tests to make sure that the floating supply has been removed. So you have to continue to monitor these stocks and observe this stuff until more SOS is coming in. The test is showing that floating supply is being removed. That's all. Any more stuff? All right. Now these 18LC trade ideas, as I've shown you just now from today 18LC, we have not seen those that meet our iVSA 18 line change rules, so we continue to wait. Remember, this 18LC is updated daily, so we are not in a hurry to choose those that does not meet our rules and requirements. But I want to talk back, I want to review again back last week where I talked about Melton, the potential of Melton stock, which we want to, now this is a stock that I'm talking about last week, but this stock has not meet our iVSA entry trigger requirement. If you're a member, we will give you that rules for you to follow up. But it's very interesting. We continue to observe these stocks, which I've seen some potential, but it must meet our requirement first. I have seen lots of tests, a good background as well. As you can see, the support background, and we have seen that there is a level of accumulation for many months. We have also seen the floating supply has been removed. Now let's see what is the what is it doing now. Let's see what is it doing now. Okay, all right, it's at 67 cents, so it is still at around this level. Okay, now the longer it is around this level, and then if we see follow through and as it meets our 18 line change entry requirement, this is a good stocks to observe, continue to observe. All right, thanks for joining me today. I'll hope to see you again next time. If you have any questions, you can email our sales team. If you can email our sales team for any more inquiries about iVSAchart, or this is my email as well. Thank you very much. See you next time.